Right, guys, chaos is ensuing in the EFL up and down the country, and we want to keep an eye on it here on the League of 72. So, we've got a brand new series between now and the end of the season. It's going to be so exciting. It's called the Promotion Power Rankings. We're going to give you 19 teams from one, the most likely to get promoted this season, to 19. And then there's obviously going to be a few clubs that aren't even in the top 19. And this chart is going to change every single week because that's what's happening. The playoff places, the promotion places, they are changing every single week. So we want you guys to get involved, get engaged, say it with your chest. If you think your team is going up this season, then come and get involved in the comments and we'll have a chat about the teams and where they should be when it comes to first to 19th in these promotion power rankings. Right, let's get into this. First up, first in the promotion power rankings, and a team that we really do believe is going to be going up this season, Fulham. Let's have a look at the championship table. They are flying. They have scored in 13 consecutive championship matches. And although it was a draw, and this is the amazing thing about the power rankings for the first week, is that of the top nine, seven didn't even win this weekend. That's how crazy these divisions are. Fulham got a draw against Barnsley. I don't think anyone expected that to happen. What's been amazing about them, I think, recently is Harry Wilson and Nico Williams. If you're a Liverpool fan, I think you've got to be very excited about what's happening at Fulham in terms of those two players. Of course, Harry Wilson is now a Fulham player, but Nico Williams will be heading back. Harry Wilson with a cracking goal. Mitrovic, 35 goals. They've all come from inside the box. Bottom line is Fulham score so many goals. They control games. And I think they'll end up being champions of the championship and going back into the Premier League sooner rather than later. Second place in the power rankings, it's got to be Rotherham, top of League One at the moment. Their form is slightly waning, but I think the great thing about them, and it's shown again this weekend, it's still a clean sheet against a tough Wycombe Wanderers side. And in someone like Josh Vickers in goal, he's been fantastic for them this season. He's prevented 7.6 goals so far this season. The next best is 4.7. So even if they're not winning games, they're not going to be losing too many games. And I think they'll be just fine. In terms of the top two, certainly for me, especially with the next couple of games that they've got. Lincoln, Shrewsbury, Sunderland away from home, and Charlton. I think if they can win three of those next four, then they're pretty much there. Third place, let's do all the league leaders then. League Two, Forest Green Rovers. But we say that with a bit of a caveat. I've never seen anything like this. For Forest Green Rovers to be as far ahead in the league as they are right now, as you can see there, still 8 points clear, and they haven't won in six. Lost 2-0 to Bradford. Mark Hughes' Bradford, his first victory as Bradford City manager. One goal in 9 for Jamil Matt as well. And for a team that scored so many goals this season, it is something they want to kind of figure out pretty quickly. Leyton Orient, Colchester and Swindon, the next three for them. I think they'll be absolutely fine, partly down to the fact that no one else seems to want to take them on in terms of having a title race. But worrying times for them, but I think they'll be fine. In fourth spot in the promotion power rankings, Wigan Athletic. They are 4 points behind Rotherham at the moment, 2 games in hand. Didn't win again. Another team that didn't win at the weekend, a 1-1 draw against MK Dons. But I feel like it's one where they just wanted to get past that game and move on. And Akai thinks the same.
I would have snapped your arm off for a draw pre-match, but you have to say, when you're winning going into the 85th minute, you want to see the game out, and we didn't today. But fair credit to MK Dons, they're up there for a reason. That's probably a better result for Wigan in the grand scheme of things. It means we haven't lost any ground on MK. We're still in second, and we've still got games in hand, which we'll play one of them on Tuesday night. So it's a big game against Crewe.
Next up, and in second place in the championship at the moment, Bournemouth. Bournemouth with a solid victory against Derby, wore them down. And again, it was about individual quality really at the end. Todd Cantwell's come in and shown that creative flair for them as well. Jamal Lowe, another one of those signings who's scored a goal for the team and is offering a lot as well. And with the fixtures coming up, I think it's looking pretty rosy for them. I think they've got enough individual quality, even if they are struggling in terms of confidence a little bit under Scott Parker at the moment. That Reading game, Huddersfield Town, will be a tricky one, but one they can feel like they can go and get points. Bristol City at home, and then West Brom, which I think we would have thought would have been a fight for the automatic promotion places, now is not, and is a game they'll want to be getting some points. It's tricky. It's a tricky set of four, but they should have enough to get themselves into the automatic promotion places. Newport County, what a run they have been on. James Robury's come in and done a fantastic job. They're currently in third place. Of course, 3 teams in League Two will go up. And in that third spot, I think the big one for me here is, and I love looking at the League Two table, is the fact that the gap between ninth and third is 3 points. Absolutely amazing. And I think Newport are really, really in the running for finishing second and maybe higher as well. Finn Azaz on loan from Aston Villa is fantastic for them, offers so much creativity. And in Dom Telford, who didn't score this weekend somehow, he scores most weekends, and I think that's huge for them. Next on the list, MK Dons. We spoke about him a little bit earlier. Got that draw against Wigan, and we just want to show you the equaliser, because there's a lot of limbs flying about in the EFL at the moment, and this goal from Darling, it will be the darling for the MK Dons fans. 85 minutes. It's just so tense out there at the moment, up and down the country. And there's a lot of goals like this where you put it underneath the goalie and see what you can do. And I love the celebration here, because he just goes, "No, are we happy with 1-1? No. We want to win the game, don't we? We want to win the game." So he makes his run back. Great stuff. 8th spot, Huddersfield Town. I told them very clearly to go away months ago, but they don't seem to want to do so. An amazing season for Huddersfield Town. Didn't see it coming at all, but they won't go away. Yes, they played a few extra games than other teams, Bournemouth in particular. Got quite a few games on them, but they're 4 points clear of 4th place Blackburn, and they're a proper team. Look at this goal from the game against West Brom. I thought this was a great example of it. This put them 2-0 up, working as a team, tenacity, and then when they get the ball, they know what they're doing with it. Daniel Ward, a great little backboard, and then you've got that third runner as well. Daniel Ward doesn't stand still. He goes and gets the rebound and gets himself a goal. They're playing really, really well as a team. As I say, no superstars really there, but Lewis O'Brien, Daniel O'Ward, he was nearly Irish there for a second. Great players who are doing really, really well for the team. And I think it's pretty guaranteed that they're going to be in the playoffs this season. So they've got to be high up in the rankings, at least for a week. We need to see a couple of defeats before they start to plummet. Of course, each week we will change the rankings. So you could be anywhere next week. We will see. Exeter City, they're on a great run as well in League Two. They are currently in 5th spot, but I think with the run and the games, importantly, that they've got coming up, you can see them here with the fixtures: Crawley Town, Oldham Athletic, Port Vale and Stevenage. They'll be really believing that they can get some points on the board here. Yes, Crawley and Oldham are in good form right now, but so are Exeter City. And in Giovanni Brown, you've got one of the most creative players in the league right now. 2.3 chances created per 90, 14 big chances created so far this season, the most of any League Two player. Next up, Northampton Town, who are currently 2nd in League Two. They've always had a great defence, but it was a heartbreaking defeat for them at the weekend, losing 2-1 to Carlisle. A late penalty, which we could show you, that really broke their hearts. The big thing for them, that I'm a bit concerned, if Mitchell Pinnock isn't having a strong day, they're struggling to create, Northampton Town, and that tension could hurt them. And if it hurts them so much that they don't make it into the automatic promotion places, then you go into the playoffs and you're wondering where the goals are going to come. I mean, they're going to come in terms of goal involvements from Mitchell Pinnock. 41% of their goals have come directly from him. So a scary time for Northampton Town, but if they can consolidate in terms of that defence, then you never know. Stevenage, Bristol Rovers and Hartlepool, 3 huge games coming up for Northampton Town. Right, this one might be a bit controversial. 8th place currently in the Championship, Middlesbrough. We do think Middlesbrough have got a really good chance. Dana from Borough Breakdown, she's not so sure.
A point apiece between Millwall and Middlesbrough at the Den. Importantly, Borough didn't lose the game, but we still haven't won in the league away from home since the 29th of December, which is mightily disappointing. We need to sort our away form ASAP if we are to get into the top 6 this season. The result of the Den, though, the performance that we put in, it could be the springboard of more confidence away from home, but I do get the feeling that we're running out of steam a little bit given, well, injuries and the fixture schedule that we have, which has been relentless, to be honest.
2 huge games coming up, both away from home, Birmingham and Peterborough. They will be massive for Borough, who I think, we're all been so excited about their form and the way that they played, of course, the cup run as well. But that away form, that's a good spot from Dana. That's something they need to kind of sort out quickly. And those are 2 great games to do it, because it's Fulham after that, but of course at home. 12th place, is Tranmere. Tranmere went up to 4th this weekend after an unbelievable victory. They went into the lead 3 times in this game and finally beat a Mansfield side that has been in unbelievable form. Let's show you the winner here, because there are limbs and we just like seeing them. This was the second goal for Elliot Nevitt, and incredible composure here. Gets the ball, he wants to get it on his right foot, and he does. Puts in that top corner, and it's absolute chaos. They've been through a very, very sticky patch, Tranmere, a very sticky patch indeed. But that is a big win for them, and that puts them back in the playoff places. They were, of course, gunning for the top 3, and that could still happen. And so we want to get behind Mickey Mellon and the boys there, and they've got experience as well, which could be crucial as it gets a little bit tenser as time goes on. 13th spot, Oxford United. I think one of the most underappreciated teams in the EFL. Top scorers in League One. Their XG is the best in terms of open play goals in League One as well, which is a big accolade in that division. Created 3 big chances and from just 8 shots actually in the last game. Herbie Kane, Brannigan in midfield looked really, really strong for them at the weekend. A great victory against Shrewsbury Town. And what that says to me is that they're being very clever and clear in terms of what they're doing with the ball when they've got it, not just shooting for no reason. They're creating big chances from the opportunities that they do create. Nottingham Forest in 14th place in the promotion power rankings. It seems crazy because you've got a team in 9th currently, and this is going to change every second, by the way, whenever you're watching this video. But in terms of points since Cooper's come in, they've got the second most points in the Championship this season. They are on a mission. They are playing incredible football. And in Keenan Davies, and in not just Keenan Davies, you've had Graben, you've got Surridge who came on and scored a goal. You've got goal scorers in this team. Let me show you this goal from the weekend. 4-0 victory. And we could have picked any of the goals from the weekend. They were absolutely purring Nottingham Forest here. But this is a great example. Keenan Davies, who scored 2 goals in this game, who said, give me the ball, let me do my thing. You do not do that if you don't have confidence, and you do not score a goal like that if you are running low on confidence. And he even lost his shirt by the end of it. And I'm sure he probably got booked for it. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? The important thing is that Forest, despite being 9th, this is another one where any fan of any other team that's in the playoffs right now is afraid, because Nottingham Forest are coming. And if they get into the playoffs, I don't know who's going to stop them. Next up is Plymouth, 15th place on our promotion power rankings. Came back. The form dropped off a little bit after Ryan Lowe left. I think that was to be expected, but they've done really well. Schumacher's done so well. 3 wins on the bounce. A huge win at the weekend against Bolton. Let's hear what Kieran Wellington had to say about it.
So, Macaulay Gillespie's first league goal since 2016 sealed the points for Argyle at Bolton, potentially knocking one of our playoff rivals out of the race. And now just 1 point behind Sunderland, 3 points behind Oxford with a couple of games in hand. Tuesday night against Portsmouth, absolutely massive. Sell out home park, bring it on. We are well in this hunt now. 6th place, we're only looking upwards.
Kieran believes. I think defensively looking great as well. 3 clean sheets in the last 3 games as well. 5 big saves from Michael Cooper in that game at the weekend against Bolton as well. He's been fantastic for them. 16th spot, another team that's outside the playoffs right now, but they're making a real charge for it. Joey Barton's Bristol Rovers, and a couple of cracking goals we can show you here, because Aaron Collins has now got himself 11 goals with his brace against Harrogate. The first one, an absolute screamer. You know what he's going to do. Can't seem to stop him. The second one is probably the highest dink I've ever seen go over a goalkeeper and still get underneath the crossbar. They've only conceded 3 goals in 8 games. Centre-backs Connor Taylor, have been absolutely superb for them. 3 goals in 8 games is absolutely amazing. They are on a real charge. And again, with it being so tight in League 2, I expect them to make their way into the playoff places. Only 3 spots left in the promotion power rankings. In 17th spot, Swindon Town, who fancy some more limbs? Let's show you some limbs. And there's some limbs actually from the players as well. Now, this is 90 plus 6 minutes. Conroy with the header. Keep an eye out on 29, because once the goal goes in, he's at the back post here at the moment, but once the goal goes in, he gets absolutely destroyed by Conroy. Off you go. and then he's trying to get his and then he's nearly falling over and just about keeps it together. Well done. And well done, Swindon. 60% possession on average this season. They pass the ball about so much. It is water torture for the opposition, and they got there in the end, but sometimes you've got to be a bit more agricultural. Got the goal there. Harry McCurdy, 8 goal involvements, 5 goals and 3 assists in his last 9 games. I think Swindon Town, I'm going to call it now because we're going to do this each week. I think they might be the team that, starting in 17th place in the promotion power rankings, I think they could rise up the highest of any of the teams right now. So let's see how that one plays out. 18th place, yes, we've all been waiting to see them. And I hope these guys go up the promotion power rankings as well as the league table. My beloved QPR. Thank goodness we got the victory against Luton Town. It wasn't the prettiest, only 5 shots in the game, and we're not out of the woods yet. And I've got to be honest with the fixtures we've got left. It's probably more likely we're going to be going down in the promotion power rankings, but I hope that we don't. Lewis Williams is a Luton Town fan and from Luton Analytics, and he of course was at the game, and he had the other side of it because it would have been us or them in this 18th place, but it turns out it was us. So let's hear what Lewis had to say about the game.
Walking away from Luton, very disappointed. I felt we should have got something from the game. For an hour of the match, I felt we were the better side, especially when Jerome was on the pitch. The moment he went off the pitch, we just wasn't the same side going forward. That result against QPR means we're now outside the playoff places by goal difference, so we're still in the mix. We can still obviously get back into those playoff places, but the aim was to get top 10 finish at the start of the season. But if we get into the playoff places, yes, it'd be brilliant, but it's not the end of the world. We have made great progress this season.
Right, we've come to that point where a lot of fans will be going, well, this better be us. And for a lot of you guys, it's not going to be. It's not going to be Sutton. It's not going to be Mansfield. It's not going to be Sunderland. It's not going to be Wickham. It's not going to be Blackburn Rovers, who are actually well into the playoff places right now. If you're any of those teams and you feel like we've got this wrong, let us know in the comments below. The team that is in 19th place in the promotion power rankings, Sheffield Wednesday, 6-0 victory at Hillsborough. I was at the game actually at the weekend, and they were absolutely fantastic. And in particular, Barry Bannon, who's lit up the league this season, which we expected. But Saido Berahino, if you watch his goals back, what's so fantastic about them? First, there's 3 of them. That's great. But secondly, for a team that struggled to score goals this season, is he knows what he's doing before he gets the ball. And that's the great sign of a great striker. It's taken him a while to get his confidence up, but he's looking really, really solid now. And if he can hit a run of form, him and Gregory with a great defensive line that they've got here, Sheffield Wednesday in the playoffs at Hillsborough, that's going to be a frightening place to go to. So we had to put Sheffield Wednesday in there despite being 7th in the league table at the moment. But we will see when it comes to Sheffield Wednesday, and we will see with all of these teams when it comes to the promotion power rankings. Stick with us on League of 72 because we're going to be here every single week. This list will change, guys, and we want you to be involved. So make sure you get involved in the comments on Twitter as well. And as I say, make sure you subscribe to the League of 72, and we'll see you next week on the promotion power rankings.